I think all 3 games here, we've given ourselves a chance. We feel like we can play better. We went back to, for games 3 and 4 and played better. We got to go back and play better in game 6. That'll be the focus. That'll be where our mind is. For more of the 48 minutes, we got to be more focused. We got to be the aggressor. We got to take care of the ball. We got to get good possessions. We got to go stronger to the basket. Do all of those things for more of the 48 minutes. And we're doing it, but it's just not, tonight, credit to them. They were better. They made a few more plays than us. But we'll go back to Atlanta game 6, and it's got to be us that's the aggressor, and it's us that makes the plays.
Coach, at some point that Wall and Beal are going to get their points, but they had a third score tonight in Otto Porter. Do you kind of look at that as the difference as a guy like that got away? I think he was 9 of 10 from the free throw line too. Yeah,
that's the thing that stands out to me. I keep going to the free throw line and keep seeing 10 free throws for Otto Porter, and I genuinely can't remember how he got to 10, but that's a big number. You look at John Wall, who shoots 1 free throw. You look at Paul Millsap, who shoots 6. Both those guys are attacking the basket all the time, nonstop. And, that's a big, big number. That's how he gets to 17. It felt like one of the threes, we weren't maybe as locked in, as focused, or, as you got to be there. And he got one off. But, we'll look at the film and see, the free throw situation. But that certainly helped them, and Bogdanović helped them off the bench.
Coach, Dennis he became the first Hawk since Pistol Pete with 25 and 10 in a playoff game since, I think, 1973. Can you kind of just talk about how he's really embraced this role, particularly in the playoffs?
Yeah, Dennis, I think the confidence he has, the aggressiveness that he has, the competitiveness, all those things rise this time of year and on the road. He was great. He shot the ball really well. I think he's gaining more and more confidence. And when he's shooting the ball like that, then other things open up for his teammates and for himself. He's just I think his competitiveness and his desire to be really good and to grow is something that we lean on heavily.
Coach, how tough is it to sit Howard with those 5 fouls, and you see the effect that Gortat has on the rebounds? How tough is it? Because I'm sure you want to put him back in the game late.
Well, every game's a little bit different, and at times we were, offensively it felt like we were kind of struggling to score, and maybe spread them out, go a little bit smaller, get Paul in some space, and let him attack and try and get to the free throw line. But no doubt Dwight can have an impact on the boards and have an impact on what Gortat does or doesn't do. So, those are always the tough decisions that you got to make.
Mike, what did you make of Bradley Beal's defensive performance tonight compared to the first couple of games, and specifically the matchup where they switched him onto Schroeder and cross-matched there?
Well, they've done it a lot. Whether it's when we initiate our offense or it's kind of the assignment, they switch a lot within the offense. They switch a lot within the flow of the game. I think Bradley Beal had a heck of a night, and I think the defensive stuff. For me, I'm more focused on our guys. I'm sure we'll look, and Dennis. If he's on Dennis, I feel like Dennis is doing a lot of good things for us, and but I'm sure they're pleased with their defense.
Coach, in terms of pace, you only had 3 steals tonight. Is defense a huge proponent for you to get things going? And how do you change that for Game 6?
Yeah, it's, both teams, limited their turnovers. Washington with only 7 and us with 11. That's going to slow the game down. That's, we need to create some more turnovers. But, sometimes it's easier said than done, or there's a lot of defensive things where I think we're being pretty solid. We're trying to make them take tough shots, and maybe you sacrifice some turnovers or those types of situations to create the runouts, to create the breaks. But I think defensively, both teams are pretty locked in.
Dennis hits the 3-pointer, and it's a 2-point game with like a minute 8, and then I'm taking your initial thoughts about that offense not good there down the stretch? You had a couple possessions.
No, to be honest, I mean, I know Paul attacked the basket twice, and I think he's getting to the paint, he's getting to the basket, he's being aggressive. We love that. Paul's been incredible for us, in this series throughout the season, and I'll take Paul in those situations. And then, Torian, I don't know if it was after. I think we cut it to 2. They scored. We kind of moved the ball around. Torian drove it. Great, right at the rim, just doesn't go in. So, we'll look at the film, but I would say, I'm not off the top of my head frustrated with what we got offensively. All right, thank you.